everyone, and welcome to IoT Marketing Live. I'm Tiffany Nielsen, and with me is the CEO and founder of IoT Marketing, Johannes Beekman. How are you today, Johannes?
I'm great, Tiffany. How are you?
I'm amazing. And last week in Taiwan, Computex 2024 took place, bringing many announcements on advancements for AI, aligning well with the event's theme of connecting AI. Under the discourse of 5G advancement, Vibocom's presence highlighted the transformative potential of 5G-A with continuous innovations. 5G-A is promised to enhance 5G capabilities significantly by providing lightning-fast communication speeds, up to 100 times faster than 5G with peak speeds reaching 1 terabytes per second, while reducing latency and enabling 10 times more device connections. Wide-ranging innovations are emerging across industries to leverage 5G-A. According to IoT Business News, plentiful AIoT devices embedded with Vibocom's latest 5G modules were displayed to illustrate diversified applications, including CPEs for in-home connectivity, ODUs for mobile hotspots for outdoor internet access, and routers and trackers applied in the industrial industry. On the first day of the event, Vibocom unveiled the expansion of its 5G RedCap product lineup by introducing the MediaTek T300 embedded module, FG332, and the FG332 integrated CPE solution. The integration of AI and communication systems has announced a new era of enhanced connectivity. By leveraging vast data sets, AI has revolutionized cellular transmission, optimizing signal efficiency and paving the way for faster data transfers. At Vibocom's booth, visitors witnessed firsthand the transformative power of AI and communication with a showcase of smart modules and devices tailored for diverse applications, including the ECR, which is the electronic cash register, based on the Vibocom SC138 smart module, which is equipped with the intelligent touchscreens for a next-level user experience. And we've talked about 5.5G and 5G-A in previous editions of IoT Marketing Live. So what are your thoughts on Vibocom's highlights from Computex 2024, Johannes?
Well, so first off, 5G Advanced or 5G-A is based on the 3GPP Release 18, Tiffany. And we've talked about Release 18 at the February IoT Marketing Live. But the official release date for Release 18 is scheduled for the 24th of this month. Now, Release 18, as you already mentioned, it brings higher data rates, reduced latency, increased connectivity, and AI and machine learning integration. And Vibocom basically has checked all the boxes. A few things that I would like to highlight. With their range of AIoT devices, Vibocom showcased the practical applications of 5G-A across various industries. And the use of AI to optimize cellular transmission and data transfers illustrates the impact AI can have on improving user experiences. So now that Release 18 has officially been released, I expect to see more 5G advanced solutions and applications, Tiffany.
Thanks, Johannes. And another company making its mark at Computex 2024 was MediaTek, who launched a flurry of new products and partnerships to unlock artificial intelligence for more markets. According to FadgeMatch, on the last day as the conference slowly crawled to a close, the brand had one more trick up its sleeve, as MediaTek is now partnering with NVIDIA for a push towards a strong IoT ecosystem. Specifically, MediaTek has announced that its NeuroPilot SDK will integrate with NVIDIA Tau, a toolkit for AI training and optimization. With the partnership, both companies hope to establish more edge AI capabilities for IoT applications. MediaTek's NeuroPilot SDK allows developers to customize AI applications according to their every need with an easy-to-use interface, while NVIDIA Tau includes over 100 ready-to-use pre-trained AI models, optimizing the workflow for developers. What are your thoughts on the MediaTek-NVIDIA partnership, Johannes?
Well, this is an interesting announcement for several reasons. First of all, NVIDIA's business model is cloud-based, with the Blackwell GPU running in data centers in the cloud. However, over the past 2 years, AI has been increasingly pushed to the edge, leading to, we've talked about terms like edge AI and AIoT. And I've been anticipating this kind of a partnership where between a cloud provider and an edge provider. And MediaTek has developed an ecosystem around the NeuroPilot SDK, allowing companies to download pre-trained and optimized deep learning models to run on the MediaTek NPU. MediaTek is primarily a hardware company, but it also provides ML as a service and has NeuroPilot Micro for ultra-low power applications, think TinyML. So another aspect of this announcement is NVIDIA Tao, an open source toolkit for AI training and optimization, which includes 100, and you mentioned that already, ready-to-use pre-trained AI models. We'll likely see more and more pre-trained AI models, not just from NVIDIA, but also from other providers. So yes, Tiffany, I've been waiting for this, and we will see similar partnerships between NVIDIA and other hardware providers being announced, not just with NVIDIA, but also between other companies.
Thanks, Johannes. And all the hype surrounding AI makes it ideal timing for our Intelligent Thinking AI Summit coming up on July 18th. So be sure to join us to hear from industry leaders on the state of AI and how to integrate AI and other advanced technologies into your business. And featuring expert speakers, a virtual expo hall, and advanced networking capabilities, you will not want to miss this valuable opportunity to learn and make new connections. Get your early bird ticket now to attend at iotmktg.com. Early bird tickets are still available, so get yours while they last. And here's another big announcement on AI. According to Business Insider, a ChatGPT app is coming to Apple Mac laptops before Windows, despite Microsoft's heavy investment in the company. In a blog post, OpenAI said a new ChatGPT desktop app for macOS will be available for both free and paid users. The rollout for Plus users has already kicked off. OpenAI said the app was designed to integrate seamlessly in anything you're doing on the computer and could be activated with a keyboard shortcut. Unfortunately, Windows users will seemingly have to wait for their own version of the new app, and OpenAI said in the blog post that they plan to launch a Windows version later this year. Have you downloaded it yet, Johannes?
Well, not this one because I'm on a Windows system, but I have been using the ChatGPT app on my iPhone for over 6 months now. And honestly, it's so convenient when you're on the go or not in front of your computer to quickly ask ChatGPT a question. The app also has a voice mode, not an older version, not the one that they demonstrated last month, but still it's a pretty good voice mode. And additionally, with the latest 4.0 model, the content quality has dramatically improved. And I still Google things, but usually I find sources for fact checking. And a little bit about that. So yes, I still fact check, but I often found that Googling is time consuming and a waste of time. However, I should mention that I tend to stay away from ambiguous queries and complex or niche topics for which there are not much training data available. But outside of that, the app, and I'm pretty sure the app on the Mac and on Windows is amazing.
Well, I appreciate that you check the facts, Johannes, and I'm sure that the audience does too. And that is not the only news for Apple, though, as WWDC just wrapped up with big announcements on Apple Intelligence, given its name for a new suite of AI features for the iPhone, Mac, and more. Starting later this year, Apple's rolling out what it says is more conversational Siri, custom AI-generated Genmojis, and ChatGPT 4.0 access that lets Siri turn into OpenAI's chatbot when it can't handle what you ask for. According to The Verge, Apple said its AI features will carry out actions between apps, as well as manage notifications, automatically write things for you, or summarize text in Mail and other apps. Apple says that users will be able to speak to Siri much more naturally in iOS 18. And I'm sure that's just the tip of the iceberg, Johannes, but what else should we anticipate with the emergence of Apple Intelligence on devices later this year?
Well, listening to the WDC keynote, which was pretty long, and it honestly was a keynote about AI, more AI, and even more AI. And I was honestly surprised how deep and how broad Apple has integrated LLMs and Gen AI into its operating systems and apps, not just on the iPhone, but also on the Mac. And also how natural the integration feels, which you of course expect from Apple. For example, and that's what you get in these kind of situations, I never knew that I needed Genmojis, but looking at the demo, Genmojis are going to be fun for everybody who can get a hand of them. Also, the keynote to me, it didn't feel like Apple suddenly decided that they had to do Gen AI. It felt more like this was years in the making, and now they have the technology to make it happen. One analyst mentioned that with this move, Apple is making it very easy for everybody to use Gen AI on a daily basis. And I think he's right. Currently, only few people are using generative AI on a daily basis. But after Apple rolls out this software, everybody who has the right phone will use Gen AI daily, whether they realize it or not. And last but not least, Siri 2.0 is a Gen powered personal assistant, a pre-programmed AI agent that can execute personal tasks. I think people will like Siri 2.0.
Thanks, Johannes. And more interesting news on AI as processor IP licensor ARM Holdings, PLC, is planning to set up an AI chip division and build a prototype AI processor by spring 2025 and have it on sale in fall 2025, according to Nikkei. EE News Europe reports such a move would likely bring ARM into conflict with customers, but apparently is the will of ARM's owner, SoftBank Group, and its CEO, Masayoshi Son. Mass production of the chip by contract manufacturers will begin in fall 2025, Nikkei said. And ARM already licenses its instruction set, architecture, and its cores to most of the world's leading chip vendors, and that includes NVIDIA, the leader in AI processors. Once the AI chip business is established, the plan is for it to be spun off from ARM and then placed under direct control of SoftBank. However, this does not address whether ARM's licensing business model would have been fundamentally damaged in the interim. The move is part of a multi-year mission adopted by SoftBank Group CEO Masayoshi Son to turn his company into an AI powerhouse. Son intends to spend 10 trillion yen to achieve this over the next few years, which is roughly $64 billion US, Nikkei said. Why do you feel this would be an issue for ARM, Johannes?
Well, first of all, kudos to NVIDIA for creating this AI chip market. And to give some statistics, the AI chip market is expected to reach $71 billion US this year. And according to some forecasts, it will reach 400 billion in annual revenue within 5 years. So semiconductor companies, including ARM Holdings, are scrambling for a piece of that pie. But as you mentioned, that does create a conundrum for ARM. And ARM, which is owned by SoftBank, has built a very profitable business licensing CPU architecture or complete cores to most of the world's leading chip vendors. At the same time, as this announcement clearly states, ARM clearly wants a piece of the AI chip market, but yes, it puts them in direct competition with their own customers. So how is ARM Holdings going to thread that needle? First off, not all SoftBank ventures ended well, so we'll have to see how this one ends. This is to be continued, Tiffany.
Thanks, Johannes. And a new security issue we want to bring to your attention is that millions of IoT devices in sectors such as financial services, telecommunications, healthcare, and automotive are at risk of compromise from several vulnerabilities in a cellular modem technology the devices use to communicate with each other and with centralized servers. According to darkreading.com, the vulnerabilities in Centarian modems from Telit include remote code execution flaws, including some that require an attacker to have local access to an affected machine before they can be exploited. The most serious one is a memory heap overflow vulnerability that gives remote attackers a way to execute arbitrary code via SMS on affected devices. The article shares the best way to combat the threat is to disable all non-essential SMS capabilities and employ private access point names, or APNs, with strict security settings for dedicated connectivity. What do you think about these IoT device vulnerabilities, Johannes?
Well, we have reported on IoT cyber vulnerabilities, and we will report on cyber vulnerabilities on a regular basis. But this is just a wake-up call, Tiffany, that cyber vulnerabilities are found everywhere. More information about this particular vulnerability can be found in the National Vulnerability Database, which is maintained by the NIST and IEST. And if your IoT devices are using these particular modems, check if Telit Centurion has already rolled out patches.
Thanks, Johannes. And in 2020, Industry Insights webinars hosted the Connected Health webinar, where we discussed a shift from reactive healthcare to preventative care. And it seems like we were ahead of the curve. As Politico recently reported, hospitals want you to visit them less often. Empowered by Washington and armed with COVID-inspired health innovations, health executives are seeking to increasingly move care outside of the hospital, despite the seeming risk to their bottom line. Hospital executives think they can more than make up the revenue by shifting their exam and recovery rooms to patients' homes. And Congress is urging them on, with legislation in the works to help hospitals expand their at-home offerings and to allow Medicare to continue paying for telehealth after lawmakers first granted temporary permission after COVID struck. The appeal to lawmakers is potential savings if remote care proves more efficient, but hospitals also see financial advantage. What are your thoughts on care moving on premise instead of at the hospitals, Johannes?
Well, this is part of a trend that we've been covering for 4 years now, Tiffany. And home healthcare has numerous advantages, as we've mentioned before. I'll just name three. One is personalized care, more personalized care. Second is the cost effectiveness. And three, there is a reduced risk of infections. Also, to use a quote straight from the article, it is a way, and I quote, to avoid the grueling inpatient experience, end quote. So we've been reporting on this trend for 4 years now, discussing the technology as it was developing. And every time we've mentioned that there are advantages for the patients as well as the healthcare organizations. So now we're seeing that the politicians are also on board. So basically, all stakeholders are on the same page now. And to conclude, we are literally witnessing the transition from the old healthcare system into a different healthcare system that includes more at-home care, Tiffany.
Thanks, Johannes. And as many of you know, we just held our Green Things Summit, which was a huge success. And with an incredible lineup of speakers and an active networking experience, the virtual event yielded positive feedback and an exceptional user experience. For anyone watching that may have missed the live event, fear not, the event is still active. We keep our events active for 90 days even after the event ends, which means that you can still join to watch all of the sessions as well as enjoy the advanced networking capabilities. You can get your ticket now by visiting iotmktg.com. And one of the topics that we discussed during the Green Things Summit was grid stability and resilience, which we continue to report on. The White House recently announced steps to modernize a major roadblock to the clean energy transformation, America's aging electrical infrastructure. CNN shared the new initiative between the feds and 21 states aims to make faster fixes and improvements to the grid, committing to build a bigger and more modern grid as part of a larger effort to reduce power outages and increase electrical transmission capacity. A massive hurdle to getting more clean energy on the grid and reducing the planet-warming pollution causing the climate crisis. The announcement came on the same day that hundreds of thousands of customers lost power in Texas following a deadly holiday weekend of severe weather across South and Midwest. Weather-related power outages are on the rise, and stronger storms put more pressure on outdated infrastructure. A recent report from nonprofit research group Climate Central found. And so, Johannes, with this, I know Texas is in your backyard, and are you concerned about the grid? Do you feel that these actions are enough and enough in enough time to keep the lights on?
Well, yes, Tiffany, Texas experiences its fair share of severe weather every year. However, as you already indicated, this is a problem that extends way beyond Texas. So each year, millions of people in the US lose power due to severe weather. And let's look at a little bit of the grid, because much of the US electric grid was built in the 1960s and 70s. And although the system has seen numerous improvements through automation and emerging technologies, the aging infrastructure is struggling to meet modern electricity demands. And of course, we also have to deal with solar inclusion in the grid. So it needs regular updates to meet our current requirements. Last month, we discussed the grid enhancing technologies upgrade, which aims to improve efficiency, reliability, and capacity. This current initiative includes the construction of new transmission lines and the upgrade of 100,000 miles of existing lines. And to answer your question, Tiffany, no, this is not enough. We will need and we will see more grid updates in the next few years.
Thanks, Johannes. And our last story is too interesting not to share, as Semaphore reports that a billionaire tech critic says he is mounting a bid to buy TikTok, the massive Chinese-owned social media app whose parent company faces U.S. government pressure to sell. Frank McCourt, the executive chairman of a family real estate giant, McCourt Global, and founder of tech and innovation initiative Project Liberty, told Semaphore in an interview that he plans to buy and rebuild TikTok as a new and better version of the internet where individuals are respected and they own and control their identity and their data. TikTok presents the best and the worst of the internet, and it connects 170 million people and allows them to be creative and build things and enjoy things and do things, he said. On the other hand, they don't get to really share in the value that's created, and their data is scraped and stolen and shipped to China, he said. McCourt also said that he's retained the investment bank Guggenheim Securities to advise him on what he calls the people's bid, and said he'll seek money TikTok could cost $100 billion from foundations, endowments, and pension funds, as well as broad-based public support. $100 billion, Johannes. I'm really surprised by this news, but what are your thoughts?
Well, Tiffany, in our AI era, because we're in the middle of it, an LLM, a large language model, can utilize content available on TikTok in several ways, leveraging the platform's vast array of user-generated videos to enhance various aspects of its functionality. Now, let me mention a few methods, a few ways that people or organizations can analyze what's happening on TikTok, and that's what this proposal is trying to address. So one of the things that you can do with an LLM with the data is trend analysis and prediction. So by analyzing just popular hashtags, challenges, and trending topics, an LLM can predict future trends and provide insights into emerging cultural phenomena. Second, sentiment analysis. TikTok comments and captions can be processed to gauge public sentiment on various topics, products, or even events. Then number three, content generation, as you mentioned before. LLMs can be trained on the creative styles and formats popular on TikTok to generate engaging content ideas or scripts for videos. And four, cultural and linguistic insights. So studying the diverse linguistic expressions and cultural references used on TikTok can help an LLM understand contemporary slang, idioms, and cross-cultural interactions. For example, learning new slang terms and their usage from TikTok videos to enhance natural language understanding and generation. And five, education and tutorials. TikTok is literally a hub for educational content, including tutorials on various topics. An LLM can extract and summarize these tutorials to provide users with quick, informative answers. And number six, user behavior insights. Understanding user interaction patterns such as likes, shares, and comments can provide insights into user preferences and engagement strategies. Example, identifying which types of videos receive the most engagement to recommend similar content. And seven, marketing and advertising. Brands can utilize insights from TikTok to tailor their marketing strategies and create content that resonates with the platform's audience. And of course, and I definitely should mention that, all this can be monetized. So TikTok is a rich source of content that anybody who has access to it can harvest and utilize it in the ways I've described and then monetize it. So that's what I believe is a reason why somebody is willing to pay $100 billion to take over this platform.
Thanks, Johannes. That was a lot of news to share with you, but hopefully you found it valuable and interesting. So be sure to register for our upcoming Intelligent Thinking AI Summit on July 18th. the Summit of Things, October 22nd through the 24th, and nominate your favorite connected solution, company, or industry leader for the Industry Insights IoT Awards coming up this December. And we have many speaking, sponsorship, and advertising opportunities available, and you can find out more about all of that at iotmktg.com. Anything to add about our upcoming events, Johannes?
Well, this is a great year to be in high tech and AI, Tiffany's, and there's so much to discuss. We do it on a monthly basis. We do it at our summits. So first of all, you don't want to miss any of our virtual events. They are great events. There are lots of opportunity to interact with peers and with speakers and with exhibitors. So second, we have a great speaker lineup for the Intelligent Thinking AI Summit. So this is an event that you definitely don't want to miss.
Thanks, Johannes. And IoT Marketing also offers branding, positioning, content creation, graphic design, video, podcast, webinar production, sales enablement, and other end-to-end marketing services, as well as lead generation and thought leadership. So contact us for a free consultation. And what's that website again? iotmktg.com. Well, thank you all so much for joining us today. And thank you, Johannes.
Thank you, Tiffany.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.